Every relocation guide in Pittsburgh talks about the city, the neighborhoods, the skyline, the restaurants, and the hype, but few mention what's happening south of the city. And if you're actually trying to build a life here, find space, raise a family, find good schools, then you're probably going to be looking either north or south from downtown. And the real story, which we'll be showcasing today, is happening right here in Southpointe, Cecil, and Canonsburg. And we'll be showing you why so many people are starting to make the move right here to Southpointe. So hi guys, we're living in Pittsburgh. I'm Riley Madden, full-time real estate specialist who's helped hundreds of families make the move from all over the world right here to Pittsburgh, finding that perfect neighborhood and perfect property for them.
And I'm George Madden, a financial specialist. I'll be the one that handles the money, and we're going to make sure that these properties are not just a place that you want to move, but makes sense for the financial future, and we make sure that every purchase is a great investment.
And we grew up right in the heart of Pittsburgh, and our family's been in real estate here for over 30 years, from construction to home improvements, roofing, investing. So we know the neighborhoods that actually fit real life, whether that's commute, school district, taxes, appreciation, growth, investment-wise. We could really nail you down to that perfect neighborhood, and that's exactly what this channel is for, to showcase the best neighborhoods for you to move, whether you're in the Pittsburgh area or you're thousands of miles away. So today we're going to show you Southpointe, Canonsburg, Cecil, and tell you why this hidden gem is a great investment and a great place to live. Let's get started. When people picture Pittsburgh suburbs, they usually picture tight roads, small houses, and older inventory. But that's where everyone gets it wrong, because there's areas that are exceptions to this, and not many people even know about them until you dive into deeper research, watch channels like ours, and talk to specialists who know this area extremely well. The first time I took a family who was relocating here from Chicago down to the Southpointe area, they literally thought we made a wrong turn. They expected an older suburb, but instead they found this area with winding roads, golf courses, brand new construction, lakes, restaurants, and shopping, while only being around 35 minutes from the city. And this open, calm feel just doesn't exist in a lot of the suburbs, even in Allegheny County. Although you might still be 20 minutes away from downtown, you're still getting that older Pittsburgh feel that surrounding areas in Butler County, Washington, and Westmoreland just don't have. And their kids were running around in these sidewalks before we even saw the home. And that's when I realized people don't just move to this area for the house, but it's for the breathing room and the environment that it offers. Canonsburg, Cecil, and Southpointe were all only about 25 to 35 minutes away from the city of Pittsburgh, but you're seeing people riding golf carts, beautiful lake, and just open space that feels like this wouldn't even be considered a Pittsburgh suburb. It's literally right off of I-79, and you're only half an hour away from the Pittsburgh International Airport, so it's a perfect commute if people are looking to work downtown. But also what is very unknown about this area is all of the businesses, technology centers, and companies that are actually located right here in Southpointe.
And what's really wild about this area, the traffic flows actually the complete opposite of what you would expect, where you're not actually going to wait in traffic. Because of the situation, you're actually going to be going against traffic, which really helps and makes it a commuter's dream. People always say they like to live near the city for convenience, but what they really mean by that is they want to have as little stress as possible and to make sure everything as convenient as possible. And this area checks all those boxes.
Yes, not only do you have the small town feel in Canonsburg area that gives you like Sarah's coffee shop, mom and pop businesses, downtown nutrition, and things you won't find anywhere else. But then again, you have all of the convenience that is right in the Bridgeville area, right here in Southpointe. So it's hitting those boxes again, from small mom and pop shops to your major retailers. So like here in Southpointe, you have the sidewalks, the golf course, the beautiful McMansions on private lots, private condo communities, and it really gives that private prestige feel. Versus Canonsburg, you have the older streets, older sidewalks, older housing. Of course, the prices are a lot more affordable in those areas as well. So it's giving ability for lots of different people to be able to enjoy this part of town and become residents, and also get to be a resident of the Cannon McMillan School District, which we're going to talk more about that shortly. And what we're also going to talk about, George is going to help break it down, is the appreciation in this area. If you would have bought in 2019, what that would be worth today, and the numbers are going to shock you.
Yeah, guys, so make sure you stay tuned to that part because we were actually surprised by the numbers after doing the math ourselves.
And honestly, it's kind of like an interesting duality that this area does have. Southpointe, it has modern businesses, tech companies, golf courses, luxury properties, and condos. But if you drive 5 minutes out, you're going to find rolling hills, you're going to find farms, mom and pop diners, and old school Canonsburg charm. It's where corporate kind of meets country, and somehow it works beautifully. And because of that reason, it's developing super fast. It's almost like a feeling that you're catching it right before it peaks. Almost like if you bought a stock during the COVID crash and now you just see it skyrocket. That's exactly what the appreciation and people who got in early in this area have experienced.
So one thing we hear from people once in a while is that this place is a little bit further south than they would like. Well, what does being further south really mean? Well, we like to think it means having a bigger yard, having quieter nights, and taxes that don't eat up half your mortgage. And guys, the tax bill is something that you should never overlook when considering the property's purchase price, because that eats into a lot of people's income. And for a lot of people moving here, when you have all the same amenities as you do in some of the places more northern of the city, these cheaper taxes make a big difference for the same quality of life, meaning you get more purchasing power with your money too. And
recently, demand-wise, we have seen a ton of people, not only from out of state, but also from these areas like Mount Lebanon, Upper St. Clair, even Wexford area, are either moving more north or more south to get more space, to get new construction options, to get appreciation. And also, of course, because of these taxes, that has been a huge trend in the Pittsburgh market. If you are looking for somewhere with great appreciation, then you might want to consider these areas that are outside of Allegheny County. Although we have tons of people, we just did a video on Mount Lebanon, Upper St. Clair. These are fantastic prestige areas, but you just want to keep in mind taxes will be a bit higher than if you are willing to do a further commute.
So let's get to the actual numbers. What's actually going on with home prices, new construction, and school values here? Well, the answer was pretty surprising, and you're going to see why this area is not just doing well, it's absolutely thriving.
Over the last few years, this area has been one of the smartest plays you can make when you're considering long-term values in the Pittsburgh metro market. And most people, they don't even realize this yet. The Canonsburg and Southpointe zip codes have seen home prices climb from 8 to 9% year over year, with the typical home value now sitting around $400,000. And the crazy part is, if you step back only 5 years, this has been appreciation over 50%. This is real equity growth, no hype about it. Some people hear that and they may think, oh, I missed my chance. It already appreciated way too much to get in now. But the thing is, this market didn't skyrocket overnight. It steadily started climbing, which means that you're not walking into some bubble. You're stepping into the momentum.
So back in 2019, we actually helped a client relocate here, and they bought a home for $350,000, which back in 2019, that probably seemed like a pretty penny. But that same home now, 5 years later, is worth over $510,000. That's a six-figure gain in only 5 years. And guess what? There wasn't any fancy thing done as far as investment techniques to make this happen. They didn't come in here and buy the property ridiculously undervalued. They didn't time the market. All they did was buy smart and hold for the long term to make that type of return. Just like in the stock market, sometimes it's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. And that's what this area does. When you buy a home here, you're doing it for the long term and investment potential. And they are extremely happy and couldn't have made a better decision with that six-figure gain in only 5 years.
Yep. And just like the stock market, you wouldn't just buy a random stock. You'd probably consult with a financial advisor, as they consulted with a real estate professional on what areas are going to be the best based on their situation and their priorities.
Exactly. Exactly, guys. That's why it's so important that when you're looking at areas, you want to talk to a real estate agent, but not just a real estate agent. You want a financial advisor. You want somebody that understands economics. They understand these areas and they know which place you're going to put your hard-earned cash into, whether it's an investment or a place that you're going to build your family with. It is so important that you consult the experts on this because this is one of the biggest decisions of most people's lives.
Yeah, and when you're relocating from thousands of miles away, it's really, really, really a bad decision to trust blog posts online. I've had so many people reach out and tell me areas that a lot of people wouldn't even step in that are locals here that they were considering just because they didn't understand the different neighborhoods. They didn't understand the risks involved of going in blind to a brand new area. So
yeah, and guys, remember the people that write these blogs and a lot of the media, it's biased. There's money behind these blogs and articles. So when you actually ask locals versus what might be pushing the blogs to people outside of the area, it's completely different opinions. So you can't trust everything you read online, as we all know.
So you're probably wondering, what does it actually cost to live here? Well, new construction townhomes will start around $300,000.
yep, and then if you're looking at new construction single family, that's more in the term of $500,000 to $700,000, of course, depending on the lot and the finishes. And the builder, depending if you want custom properties in the area usually start around $900,000 and could head into the multi-millions, especially in communities like Alto Piano, which is one of Cecil Township's most luxurious custom home communities.
It's the value per dollar. These homes are newer, energy efficient, and in school zones that are going to continue to grow.
That being said, you're not just buying square footage, you're actually buying time. Less maintenance, fewer surprises, and a better resale curve. Some people think new construction automatically means cookie cutter, but honestly, that is not the story in these neighborhoods. Builders are spacing these communities so you're not right next to your neighbor, your home's not looking identical to your neighbor, you're in cul-de-sac communities, and you have actual privacy. It feels more like a walkable community versus a planned subdivision. And we're about to drive through one of the best kept neighborhoods that proves everything we are saying, so stay tuned. And if you do prefer existing homes, you're not looking at new construction, you're not interested in it, then Canonsburg might be the best bet between these three neighborhoods. Cecil and Canonsburg together have so many options that range between $350,000 to $500,000 for a move-in ready resale property. These homes have bigger lots, acreage, privacy, lower taxes, mature trees, and that neighborhood feel that you might miss with the new construction. And in a minute, we'll break down what these exact price ranges could get you side by side so you could visualize what your money actually buys you here. And if you are moving your family, Cannon-McMillan School District is one of the most respected schools in the region, and it is expanding to meet all of the growth that's come to this area. It's not just good for your kids, it's the single greatest factor protecting your home value in the future. Their enrollment has grown every single year, and the district is continuously investing in new facilities, new technology. Plus, it's one of the few only areas in Pittsburgh where education, infrastructure, and real estate appreciation are all moving in the same direction. When families first reach out to us when they're considering Pittsburgh or different neighborhoods, they always start out with, we don't know what area to choose. There's so many, you guys highlight so many great areas on your channel. All of these suburbs and school districts seem wonderful. All of these city neighborhoods seem very similar and look like they offer similar things. And this is literally what we help people with every single day, because although they might look the same on paper, they are completely different when you're looking at school programs, size of the schools, neighborhoods, whether you want acreage, whether you want lower taxes, new construction, more space, a neighborly feel, certain types of architecture, walkability. There are so many different factors that could determine where you're going to live, and that's what we love to help you with. Growing up in the area, being in real estate for relocation over 6 years, helping hundreds of families move here, We know exactly what to prioritize when it comes to your exact needs, your priorities, and what you're looking for here in Pittsburgh. So that's why we highly encourage you guys to book a call. Go ahead and reach out. Our contact information is down in the description below, always up here on the screen. That way we could talk one-on-one with what's important to you and how we could help you personally narrow that down, get you in the community and the house of your dreams. We'll walk you through the areas, compare the neighborhoods side by side, and help you find the one that truly feels like home for a great value, whether the market is telling us that there's 10 other offers on the property and we have to strategize to get yours accepted, versus a market where it might be cooler and you might have way too many options to choose from. So that's where we could really narrow down what's going to be the best value, what's going to be the best deal, and where you're going to be the happiest. So we love hearing from you guys. Reach out 24/7, and let's get into the rest of the video. So you can't really understand an area until you at least visit, you spend a day here. The mornings feel very calm, especially in a neighborhood like this. You'll see parents walking their kids to the bus stop, you'll see people jogging and people walking their dogs. And it's very quiet, but in that good and peaceful way. Then by lunchtime, the area comes alive. People are golfing, people are getting coffees at Crazy Horse Cafe, and grabbing lunch at the Fused Asian or the Mexican restaurant right next to the golf course. It's the perfect blend of small town rhythm and modern energy. And I think that's why families love it so much. It gives you the space to slow down, but you're still plugged in. We had a family who was moving from Dallas, but was actually pretty scared to leave his city life. His biggest fear was feeling isolated, especially in a brand new city and a brand new state. But just 6 months after they moved, the family called me and expressed their gratitude for this community, for this area, and said that they haven't felt community in over a decade. And they've lived in a ton of different states. From Friday night football gatherings, kids running around, neighbors sharing food, making golf friends, and hanging out at a few of the local spots. They said Pennsylvania is their now favorite state after living in 5 different states due to work travel.
Gives you something money can't buy. Margin, shorter commutes, cheaper taxes, and an area with just all the convenience baked into it, which is something that helps with a stressful lifestyle. A lot of people say they're moving somewhere for a better house, but what they really mean is they're moving somewhere for a better lifestyle, and this area delivers on all of the key factors.
Yeah, and we could just see the piece walking through on how these homes are all very different. Not cookie cutter whatsoever, but customly craft homes with space between you and your neighbor, plus all of this nature and privacy. These are neighborhoods that you can't find once you get closer to Pittsburgh. And we even have 2 cute deer right here. They look like baby deer. How adorable. And just during the fall time, like, this is the most gorgeous views that you will see in many places throughout the metro area. And once you're able to spend the time here, you really start to notice how connected the people are. You'll see parents at youth sports, church, the Canonsburg 4th of July parade, which is one of the best events of the year and one of the biggest in the region. And everyone is so welcoming, especially to out-of-staters and newcomers, where it really feels like you're entering into a family. There's something very grounding about that. It's not performative, it's not flashy, it's not vain, but it's real old-fashioned community that Pennsylvania bleeds, with new opportunity also layered on top. What more could you want? And here is what's wild and what nobody tells you. That same sense of community is actually one of the reasons that property values keep rising. I'll explain how these two connect right now. So when you compare these areas to Mount Lebanon, Wexford, Upper St. Clair, what surprises these people isn't just the price alone, but it's actually the newness that you get in an area like this. Modern layouts, finished basements, acreage, open kitchens, and homes that were built for today's lifestyle. And you're not paying premium for age or proximity that you may see north of the city. The funny thing is, a lot of people end up touring those areas but still end up here. They might just not realize it at the time. So when people might say, oh, that's a bit too far south for me, we like to ask them, too far from what, to get a better understanding of their priorities. From the noise, from the traffic, from paying too much for less house, this area could really shift your perspective. And for families, some of the best kept secret amenities lay right in the neighborhood. Canonsburg Lake for weekend fishing, Southpointe Golf Club for parents who play or socialize, Tuscany Square for a date night, and so many restaurants if you're a foodie, including Jackson's at Southpointe. Then you've got trails, brand new playgrounds, and so many farmers markets because you're here in kind of the country. It's the small town quality of life, but it does not feel disconnected whatsoever. And I think that's why so many people who move here end up staying for good and convincing their kids to move here as well. So if you've been wondering, is the South Hills actually a place to raise a family, not just live affordably, then this should answer that for you. And if you want proof, let's check out what's actually happening at Cannon McMillan, because this is one of the biggest reasons why families end up falling in love with this area.
People are always telling us that they are looking for good school districts, and that's one of the #1 things on most buyers' lists, which makes complete sense. But what they're not looking for is just a good school district. They're looking for stability. They want to know that they're in a neighborhood where the school and the community actually care about the youth around it, and they're continuing to build that tight-woven community and network of people that support each other. So, great story. 2 years ago, we actually had a family come from New Jersey, and they had a teenage son, and they were a little bit worried because he went to a whole other school district his whole life, and now he had to start high school at Cannon Mac as a freshman. And as anybody remembers their teenage years, that can be a little bit frightening, and I understand. And they said their kid was a little bit shy, which is understandable, but they told us that once they located here, they were so happy because at the very first football game, they saw him from the parents section actually cheering with all the other kids in the jungle, and the kids all welcomed him in. They had that great sense of community, and that's what an area like Cannon Mac and where we're at right now really brings to the table, where it's a very inclusive area where everybody treats each other like family.
And Cannon McMillan is actually ranked among the top schools in all of Western Pennsylvania. But more importantly, it's actually trending upward. Just the past decade, they've added new buildings, new facilities, upgraded technology, and have grown enrollment pretty rapidly, which means real sustained demand for housing. Families aren't just guessing, they're actually following the data. Now, let's talk about what is coming. The next 5 years here are shaping up to be huge. If not, we wouldn't have been making this video for you. New housing phases are breaking ground in Cecil and Southpointe, where we're at currently. Roads are being expanded and local businesses are opening up. It keeps your property values healthy and your community vibrant. And if you want a sign of where this is all heading, look at all the commercial investments coming into this area. Southpointe's commercial footprint is rapidly expanding. Healthcare communities are being born and opening satellite offices all over Southpointe. And that means higher employment, higher demand for housing, and higher price values. And here's something most real estate agents won't tell you. Not every good school district feels good. You could have the top ratings, but still feel disconnected, lost in the crowd, and rushed. What makes Cannon McMillan different is it's small enough to still feel personal, but big enough to keep growing with your family. Because good schools is not just all about the academics. It's more about community culture, how people treat each other, and how your kids remember it 10 years down the line. Education plus community-wise. We had a family move here all the way from Seattle, Washington, and after the first parent-teacher night, they felt like they actually belonged somewhere for the first time in a while. And that's when you know you made the right move. Not just when the numbers line up, but when life does. From a number standpoint, that kind of organic growth is literal gold. It means the district isn't inflating overnight. It's earning its value year after year, stable and steady. That's why you're not going to see sharp spikes and crashes here. You see steady and strong appreciation and low turnover, plus a lot of families planting roots. And if you're worried that growth means higher prices, here is the truth. It also means better infrastructure, more amenities, more employment, and long-term protection of your home's worth. Because value isn't just what you pay for a home, it's what that home gives you every single day that you live in it. So whether you're moving for the schools, the community, a better lifestyle, this area delivers all three. And here's what most people miss whenever they're actually looking for a home. They're not just choosing square footage or school district, they're choosing the next chapter of their life. The friends their kids kids will make, the pace their mornings start with, and the memories that fill their weekends. And that's why I believe what's happening here in Cecil, Canonsburg, and Southpointe matters so much. It's not Pittsburgh growing outward, but it's families finding space to grow into.
When you look ahead in the next 5 or say even 10 years, the future is clear here. You can already see more infrastructure, better schools, more businesses, and better roads. And what's great about this area, it's not just growing randomly or chaotically, it's growing with true intention to make sure that the community matches all these improvements. And guys, we've been looking at a lot of pockets of land here. Some places that we truly think are going to be the next best place in this area for families to move. And we're gonna have that coming here in a future video. Some of them are places that I'm scoping myself for personal investments. So we look forward to showing that to you guys in the next few videos here.
And trust me guys, I know how stressful it could be to find the right neighborhood, especially when you're relocating from completely out of the state, even out of the country. And that's exactly why we make these videos, literally just for you. Yes, you watching. Because most online information gives you highlights, not real help. We've walked these streets our whole entire lives. We know the neighbors, we know the contractors, the lenders, the title companies, everyone to get you to a successful, smooth, easy closing. We've helped hundreds of families compare every suburb, every city neighborhood, every house decision. And we're here to tell you the truth, no fluff, no pressure, just what's right for you. Because at the end of the day, you don't need another agent trying to sell you a house. You need someone to help you find the life that you're actually looking for. An advisor, not a salesperson. We could clarify your numbers, your budget, your goals, and your family's priorities to place you in the exact perfect neighborhood, the exact perfect house, and the exact perfect situation lending-wise for you and your family. So if you reach out to us, contact information is always in the description below and up here on the screen. We could talk one-on-one and give you a personalized relocation plan that will surpass anything you could read about or watch online, because you could only learn so much before it's time to seek an advisor. You could Google so many conditions for your health, but until you talk to the doctor and get some tests done, you really are not going to have clear direction on your health. And it's the same thing when it comes to real estate or other huge decisions you'll make in your life. So we've helped hundreds of families find their place here, and we're happy to help you be the next. And whether you buy next month or next year, you're going to leave the conversation informed and with clarity around your future move here to Pittsburgh. Plus, you'll be more excited about your future decision. So make sure to reach out. We absolutely love hearing from you guys. It's what our life is dedicated to. And if you want to learn more about different neighborhoods, our real estate market, or see more of these vlog tours to understand what neighborhood can be the best fit for you, you could start by watching these next videos here, and we will see you in the next one.